Feelings, feelings, feelings. Now, isn't that a word that sends some men absolutely haywire or sends them running to the hills? Because for a lot of men, we have been conditioned to avoid our feelings, to push our feelings down. We've been conditioned to only feel certain feelings, that certain feelings are acceptable for us to express and others are not acceptable for us to express. And this is something that I go into a lot of detail in when it comes to one-to-one coaching, when it comes to some of our other programs, because it's something that actually impacts us at a deep level. And if we can begin to unpick and understand some of the cultural conditioning and beliefs that we hold about ourselves as men, then we can actually get rid of those and make great strides in becoming the men that we are created to be. So feelings are really, really crucial. It's amazing to be a human being, because as human beings we get to experience all of emotion. That's the beauty about being a human. We get to experience everything from love to sadness to hate to fear, to joy, and everything in between. And if we are to be men who are fully alive and fully passionate and present with our wives and great leaders, then we have to be men that are able to regulate our emotions. And the only way you can regulate your emotions if you are attuned to your emotions, if you are able to feel them, allow them to be present, and allow them to move through your body, so that if you ever find yourself in a place of stress or a place of disease or a place of worry, that you can find ways to get back to your natural state, which is a natural state of clarity and peace and contentment. So in this part of the module, I'm going to teach you exactly what emotions are and the number one thing that emotions are used for. And this is something that you're actually not taught in school. So listen up, because it's going to make all the difference for you in terms of managing your stress and being the husband and the father and the leader that you want to be. I absolutely love cars. I have done ever since I was a little boy. I don't know what it is about cars, but there's something so satisfying about driving them and looking at them, and it doesn't matter whether it's a Nissan Micra or a Nissan GTR or a Lamborghini, whatever it is. I just really enjoy the experience of sitting in them and looking at them and driving them. And if you think about your car, or if you think about any car that you've ever been in the past, cars have hundreds and hundreds of different feedback mechanisms within the car in order for the driver to actually know what's happening and what's going on. So for example, cars have speedometers, so that as a driver you know how fast you're going or how slow you're going, or whether you need to tap the brakes in order to stay within the speed limit. Or a car has a fuel gauge, so that you're able to tell how much fuel there's left before you have to fill up. There's temperature gauges, so you know the temperature of the engine. And every single gauge that is in a car has a very, very important job to do. So each gauge is an expert in its chosen field. So a speedometer is an expert in being able to tell the speed of the car. The fuel gauge is an expert in telling the driver how much fuel there's left in the tank, and the temperature gauge is an expert in being able to gauge the temperature of the engine. If all of a sudden the fuel gauge decided, do you know what? I'm going to start to give the temperature of the engine. I'm going to decide that's my job from now on. And if the speedometer decided to do that, it'd be given a lot of misinformation, because that's not what the speedometer has been designed to do. In fact, it could never do a good job of that because it doesn't know how to do it, and it couldn't do that. So it would be an absolute disaster if the speedometer decided to do that, or vice versa. If the temperature gauge decided that it's going to tell the driver what speed it's going to do, it would be it would be absolute nonsense, don't you think? So it's the exact same for your body. Your body has hundreds and thousands of different feedback loops, and all these feedback loops are keeping your body moving and keeping your body functioning. And your body is so wise that it knows exactly what it needs to do in order to keep your pH levels balanced, in order to keep you hydrated, in order to keep your cells functioning and your cells alive. And it's all to do with the different feedback mechanisms that are happening. So your feelings are actually a very precise and accurate gauge or signal. And your feelings are a gauge that tell you what's happening inside of you. They're a gauge that tell you what's going on in your own psychology. Your feelings are totally impersonal. They don't know about anything that's happening on the outside. They don't know how much work you have to do. They don't know about the arguments that you're having with your wife. They don't know about how stressed your kids are currently making you feel. They don't know anything to do with your finances or your business or your health. Your feelings are impersonal. They are a gauge that's telling you what's happening on the inside. They know about one thing and one thing only. What your feelings know about is thought taking place in the moment. They know about what's happening inside your thinking. And what happens is that we believe that our feelings are actually telling us about something that's happening on the outside. So we believe that we're stressed because our feelings are telling us that we're stressed because we have so much work to do. Our feelings are telling us that we're stressed because our kids are so noisy when we're trying to work. Our feelings are telling us that we're stressed because we're having arguments with our wife. Your feelings aren't personal. And your experience of life is created 100% from the inside out. Now, I'm not saying that there's not stressors, there's not things that are happening on the outside that could be perceived as difficult. Yes, there's things that you're currently going through. What I'm saying is that your feelings are a response to your thinking. And your feelings are always an invitation not to look outwards and to see what's happening, but your feelings are always an invitation to go inwards and explore the internal workings of your mind, to explore your thinking, to explore what is creating this state that you're currently experiencing.